Hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I am sitting here with Donovan, the recovering Democrat Sadiq. He's got a lot of names, y'all. Also known as the Black Yule Brenner. As you can see, he does not have his go and show it to him. Since you can't show him your green screen effects, as y'all
Right.
see there. Donovan is on his phone because he's having some issues with his internet. It's been going on for a couple of days. So he is joining us from his phone. Hopefully, they'll work that out sooner or later because I know how much we depend on our internet. But anyway, the purpose of the Demetra K Show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we are great people, but we can always strive to do better. I'd like to say a big giant hello and thank you to Facebook and YouTube. I'm not sure what's going on with Twitter. Must be something on their end. I thought it was me and I fixed it, but for whatever reason, I can't stream to them just yet. So I will figure it out nevertheless. But anyway, hello to you all. Of course, you guys know that you are not just viewers, you are participants, because we do share the link so that you can come up and voice your opinion, ask a question, or whatever it is you feel that you have to get off your mind. Just please make sure it pertains specifically to the conversation that we are having. If you have something else you want to say, save it for the time that we are actually talking about that, please. And thank you. Also, like to say, if I have not seen you on here before, please show me your face so that I can verify that it's no shenanigans. Of course, I will see that it's you if you have your picture up, and then if you want to put your picture back up, then you can do that before I bring you to the big screen. Today, we're going to be talking about Terrell Owens and something he said to Chad Ochocinco. Guess during some sort of I don't know, it was an Instagram live or something they were doing. Now, I meant to actually talk about it a couple of days ago with Donovan, but we didn't get around to it, and I actually kind of forgot. But a couple of people asked me, would we talk about it nevertheless? And I said, okay, because I don't have anything else to talk about. So I acquiesced nevertheless. So I'll show y'all the video and then we can have a discussion around that. But Donovan, what say you before we get started?
Hey, rain, sleet, snow, the show must go on no matter what. And that's what we do here. So, you guys, it's my green screen behind me. A lot of stuff going on. Unfortunately, I have no other options but to deal with Spectrum. And this has been going on for almost a whole week. And it is not I, it is them. And I'm one of those people that I will not pay for services I am not being rendered. So, that's how I am. But do us a favor. I won't be in the comments because I can't see the comments because I'm on my phone. But do us a favor, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. I haven't really heard anything about Terrell Owens in regards to what is going on. So this is going to be new to me. Also, if you look at the bottom here, even on my phone, I can see it. There's a banner that's running at the very bottom. If you want to donate to the Demetra K Show to keep her motivated to keep going, it's greatly appreciated. As you guys know, YouTube takes about 40% of revenue that's donated to the content creators. So if you want to circumvent that so that the content creator gets all of your money and your appreciation, so those are other ways you can do that as well. So let's not take up too much time. Demetra, you're going to be helming a lot of the comments today. So I will be here and do the best I can.
And I will put them up on the screen as best I can. I should say some of them I don't put up on the screen because they're kind of and I don't too much want to, have any issues on social media with those comments. So if you want me to put your comments up, just make sure it's something that I can put up. Nevertheless, I do read them. So facts, not feelings. How you doing? And Monet, what's going on with you? And Troy, I hope you are having a great day. So before we get started, I also want to say a happy 126th anniversary, also known as a birthday, to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who would have celebrated his birthday on the yesterday, which is October 7th. He's born in 1897. From what they can say, they can pinpoint. So of course, we just want to pay homage to him on the Demetra K Show. All right. And Brother Don, how are you doing? And Honey Do. All right. So as I said, a couple people have asked me to talk about this because I did not talk about it. And admittedly, I don't talk about everything. Hey, Michael, how you doing? But I figured I would do it today, nevertheless. So this conversation comes from Terrell Owens and Chad Ochocinco, who were both at one point in time football players. Now, he said something about Black women and his relationship with them that kind of got the internet talking on one way or the other. And so we're going to talk about it today, and amongst some other things. If you guys bring them up, we will discuss them. But let me go ahead and put this up, and then we'll go ahead and get into it.
With black women growing up wasn't so good. When I started dating white girls, my first experience with white girls is when I went to college. I tried to date some black girls when I was in college. They did not like me. I was skinny. I was
Right.
strong.
Right.
I was teased from high school, even to college. I got teased for being dark skinned.
Damn,
So
they tease you, cuz?
yeah. So there was a lot of self-esteem issues
Right,
that I
right,
had.
right.
No, I'm being dead honest.
That's up.
So when I got my opportunity, when my first experience with a white girl, I'm like, okay, it wasn't bad, but that wasn't. I just totally gravitated to white girls after that.
Right.
That wasn't the situation. So again, my experiences with black women growing up wasn't so good. So, but that still didn't deter me from still dating or
Right.
pursuing black girls.
Right.
So my thing now is because I know there's the stigma, the stereotypical of athletes, to
All right, so it cut off there. So again, that was Terrell Owens talking about his not so good, I guess, experiences with black girls. Specifically, he was talking about them or him in high school, that for whatever reason they didn't like him. You know, he was skinny and all that other stuff. And then he later went on to say how he's upgraded. I've seen millions of dollars while performing as a football player. He said that he's got his teeth done. And so, he's bloomed into something wonderful, kind of what he said later on. But he also said that it messed with his self-esteem, that black girls did not want to date him. Now, he also, in a longer clip, said that his high school was probably about 50-50 black, white. So there was, I would say, quite a bit of black people at his school. But he said it did not deter him from dating black women. But I guess, for lack of better words, he felt, more comfortable with white women. Now, I know that he has, I think, 3 baby mamas. One of them's white, one looks mixed, and one looks like she's, full on sister. So he did definitely mess with a sister or two that we know of after he, graduated high school and then went on and everything like that. But a lot of people kind of had a heated conversation around it, saying that he is blaming black women for him just basically, having an appetite for white women. Now, he also went on to say in a different part of that clip is that it's kind of known that black athletes, I should say, tend to date white women or women other than black. Although I think we can make an argument that most black athletes have a black wife. I think we're safe to say that. But that's what, he basically said. And so, again, he caught a lot of heat for that comment, basically putting his self-esteem on the backs of black women, which it doesn't, he's not the first one to do it. There's been a couple other people that said that black women didn't like me. Dennis Rodman, I remember back in the day, he said that when he was going to high school, black girls did not like him until he blew up, if you will. And he got into the NBA and all of that. So a couple of other men have said that. So anyway, I want to see what you guys say. Who else came on here? Fly Guy, how you doing? Okay, I'm gonna read that in a minute. And Quicks, how you doing? And Michelle, how are you? And I'm gonna read y'all comments in just a second. But Donovan, what say you? I actually put the comments up as Donovan's talking.
Yeah. Who, this is the stupidest conversation, and I don't mean that to be disrespectful or anything, but when girls are in school and you guys are going through your puberty and you guys are going through your awkward phase, and you're not the Beyonce of the school, you're not that real popular girl of the school, but then you're average looking girl, whatever the deal is, then you come out of school, then you come into your own, you're a fully grown woman. Now more guys are checking for you because you've kind of blossomed a little bit, you're kind of more mature, you've learned a lot more. I mean, who in the world hasn't gone through that phase where somebody didn't like them and such and such and such and such, but then when they grow out a little bit, and like I said, when you're up until you're 25, you're still a fairly young person at that point. You're still trying to figure things out. But about 25 and older, you kind of know what you want, how you want to get it, and you go about getting it, right? So Terrell Owens' thing is something that's not unusual. When I was in high school, believe it or not, women didn't like me. Didn't like me until I started maturing and started making money and doing stuff positive. I mean, that's just a part of life. I think it's a ridiculous uh, conversation in the fact that most of us have gone through that phase to where, you know, you go to the club, you don't get the top girl, you get the second tier girl or the guy or whatever the deal is. We all have gone through that. So I don't understand what the outrage is in regards to what he's saying. It's obvious he has a black baby mama. I didn't hear him say he didn't date black women. He just said coming up, a lot of black women didn't like him. When I was coming up, a lot of black girls didn't like me. But then again, I was in Japan, so there wasn't the ratio to maybe what he went to school with. So, you know, the pickings are slim. It's just amazing that we hear what we want to hear and we make controversies out of something that is really nothing.
Hello, Miss Watson. How you doing? It says, who cares about the women Terrell Owens is dating? I tend to agree with you. And Honeydew, he says basically he should judge his mama and grandmama. Of course, there's a conversation behind, you know, him not knowing who his father was because he lived across the street. I guess his father was a lot older. His mom was young, didn't know who his father was and all that other stuff. Beverly White, how are you doing this fine evening? I hope you are doing well. Yeah, I'm kind of like, yeah, and Fly Guy, you also said something. I agree with where to go. You basically said T.O. didn't say anything wrong. He didn't bash black women at all. He wasn't discouraged from dating black women. It's his point of view. We all have point of views, and I totally agree with that. It's his point of view. We cannot tell him how he is to feel about his experiences. I have heard some other brothers say that all black, you know, girls or women didn't like me until I guess my really only pushback with that is you haven't dated all black women or all black girls. And I would venture to say all black girls or women in the world didn't treat T.O. like that. Of course, he said he wasn't much to look at when he was younger. Now, I saw some younger pictures of T.O. when he was younger, and I was like, damn, he was fine. I mean, he's fine now, right? But, you know, had I been in high school with him, I at least looked at him twice, like, oh, okay, look at that chocolate brother over there. But again, it's his point of view, and, you know, he can do with it what he wants. But it's like somebody stepped on the beehive out there in the internet world. Of course, I saw Dr. Umar Johnson took him to task, basically saying shame on him for, you know, blaming black women for his self-esteem. And as he said, him snow bunny hopping, said him being a bunny hopper or whatever, you know. And how quick she say,
but wait, let me cut you off there real quick. Shame on Dr. Umar for being a grifter. Shame on him for being that. See what I'm saying? We can say and throw things at people. If he wants to date white women, Asian women, what business is that of anybody? Especially Dr. Umar. Who is he to be the professor of whatever? Screw Dr. Umar, because we saw him with the white woman. Did anybody take him to task?
Now, you know, damn
well. Wait. Of course we know what the situation was, but the point is, who is Dr. Umar to be the spokesman for black people? Let this man live his life.
Okay, so if you know damn well or Dr. Umar wasn't with that white woman, why you bring it up?
I'm bringing it up in the aspect of people could see a certain thing and think a certain thing. That doesn't mean it's true. If this man, he didn't bash any black women, but yet Dr. Umar is making it seem like he did, and he doesn't even know what he's talking about.
Well, I don't know what Dr. Umar's intel is. I was simply saying that he was also among the people who were taking him to task. That's all I was saying. And you got to, you know, a bee in your bonnet, for lack of better words, behind Dr. Umar.
Wait. No. I agree with you.
Wait. I get it. Y'all ain't never gonna let Dr. Umar live that down when he asked y'all to be responsible for, you know, black children with our fathers. Y'all been mad ever since. I get it, but I was just giving it context. But you took it to.
No. I'm speaking for myself. I sit here and wonder, because I'm not a Dr. Umar follower. The guy is a grifter, in my opinion. So I don't listen to anything the man says, but I do question the fact that who is he to be the spokesman for Black people? What, who is he? His school, I don't know anything about his school. I don't give a damn about his school. He's out here always talking all this yin yang and BS and has nothing to back it up. That's what I'm saying. He can say what he wants. He has a right to say what he wants. But again, let T.O. live his life. Who is he to judge?
Well, so as far as Dr. Umar, I agree with a lot of things he says. I agree with a lot of things that he does not say, but I'm not going to have a hard on for the brother simply because he stated his piece. Just like you be on the internet stating your piece, many people could ask you, well, who are you to be speaking for A, B, C, or D? And so I'm not mad at the man for speaking his opinion, just like I'm not mad at Terrell Owens for speaking his opinion. But like I said, y'all ain't been right over there, around yonder, since Dr. Umar asked y'all to take up the mantle and help mentor other women's children. But let me get to these comments because my conversation really even at about Dr. Umar. And let's see here. Dr. MG, how you doing? He says it's a real dynamic. Black women seem to gravitate to thugs, bad boys, and other degenerates. Had this experience my whole life as well. Well, I want to say some Black women tend to do that, and it's not a phenomenon with Black women, just like it's not one with white women, Asian women, Hispanic women. So some Black women like to do that, but that is not a thing for Black women. That's not a lie to kick it. But welcome to the chat. How you doing? Anais, how you doing? You say he is fine. Yes, T.O. is he is damn sure fine. Yeah, and we're not going to be dismissive of his experience. I'm not going to be, because it's his experience, right? And Kim, Alabama, how you doing? Long time no see. He says one thing about the other races, they don't get in bed or out the bed confused. Yeah, they tend to kind of like to stick to their own. They don't really make a lot of excuses or make a big deal out of it. I don't know. I can't remember the last time I heard a white guy or a Hispanic guy say, or white women didn't like me or Hispanic women didn't like me. So I don't know. But I agree with you with that. Freddie says I was a late bloomer too. Basically, I started coming into my own after high school. And I think that's probably true for a lot of people. I would say the same thing for me. I had some people when I was older said, man, I wish I would have knew back in high school. It was like, well, what you wish you would have knew? And who says I would have gave you the time of day anyway? And Fly Guy, you say, preach, Don. And Honeydew, you says, live your life without talking about us. And that's kind of the other kind of conversation too, is, saying basically, if Terrell wants to be with white women, he should just do that. Don't evoke Black women as to your decisions, even though he said that he, still, and for lack of better words, date Black women. But that has been the other conversation. You don't have to bring up Black women to because of the choices you made. And I think that is true, whether we hear from Black men and Black women. I don't date Black men because of A, B, C, and D. Or Black men didn't like me, so now I'm with white men, or whatever the case is. It's like, if you got a hankering for some white chocolate or whatever, just go on and do that. You ain't got to, blame the brothers for your decision. And Bama Boy, how you doing? He says the problem is that he generalized all Black women. Yeah, and that's what I just said too, is not all Black women that like thugs and all that other stuff, or look down on Black men until they have made it. So I don't know. Yeah, Fly Guy, a bee in his bonnet. I ain't never had no bee in my bonnet, but I'd imagine it's not a pretty sight. Bama Boy, he says those white women only want him for his money. Now, come on now. Y'all know we've all seen He Got Game. We've all seen He Got Game. And we know, especially on the college campuses, they purposely put those snow bunnies, as Dr. Umar calls them. They purposely put those snow bunnies around them, get that money at all costs, right? We know that is done on purpose. So, yeah, a lot of those snow bunnies, if you will, wouldn't be with none of those brothers if they was working in the warehouse at Walmart or Amazon. So let's not lie to kick it there either. And Yulia, I hope I said that right. How you doing? Eli, Yahoo. I know I jacked it up, but Mr. Barr, how you doing? Nevertheless, says I like chocolate. I love peanut butter. But if I'm regularly denied both and then offer vanilla, I'm going to eat it. But come on, brother. Are you trying to tell me that you've been denied all chocolate and peanut butter? Because there's a lot of chocolate and peanut butter all over the world. So I want to have a conversation about that. And Blocka, how you doing? He said he in his feelings about Dr. Umar. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people. I think it's the kind of stem with that whole thing when he says that black men, when he was on that podcast and those two brothers thought they was gonna bait Dr. Umar in with black women ain't ish. He was like, no, 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 no. What we're not gonna do is blame black women for all the problems of the black community. And he asked the brothers to step up. And from that point, it's been hell on wheels. Mimi, how you doing? It says it's not about T.O.'s preferences in women. It's about making public statements about it. Just do you and live your life. I really agree with you on that. I think that's really where it is because it's really his experience. But I think, black men and women get tired of being blamed for something that we wasn't even there for, right? Honeydew says, because something doesn't come to you easily, why is it that no one likes you? Good question. Mike Nice, how you doing? And Macy M, how you doing? Says Dr. Umar also spoke about why Clarence Thomas gravitated toward marrying a white woman. Yes, he has. And Ray, how are you? He says facts over fairy tales and feelings. All relationships are risk regardless of race. Black first for me. I totally agree. So, of course, that gets put on the backs of black men and women. But I would say I really kind of only hear us having that conversation. Oh, black men didn't like me. That's why I'm over here. Or black women didn't like me. I don't know. Have y'all ever heard white people or Hispanics or anybody talk like that? I haven't, but then I haven't listened to everybody. Black America, I was wondering when you was going to enter the chat, but nevertheless, how you doing today? He says men have to work to make themselves into somebody. You know what? I agree with that. And you know what? So do women. We got to make ourselves into somebody, regardless of what that somebody is. Angie D, how you doing? Peace and blessings to you as well. And Buckhorse, how are you? Says DC is here. Shalom. Hey, Miss K, how are you doing? And let's see, Rodney, how you doing? It says the behavior of some of our women doesn't help. Doesn't help what? If you don't mind me asking. Help with what? I won't put words in your mouth, but what doesn't it help with? And what behavior are you speaking of? And Angie says, I love black men. For me, the darker the better. I love black men too. I would not have it any other way. Never, ever, 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 ever. I love me a brother. I'm gonna just keep it 100. And Michael says, it is better for men to date women overseas because most American women have a lot of expectations for this and that. I mean, yeah, so but this is the other conversation, Michael. When I hear brothers say that, it's almost like, or, even let's say American men, right? Hear American men say, oh, it's better to date a woman overseas. It's almost saying that those women ain't got no expectations. They just want you, come over there and I don't know what, do what. They want y'all to provide and protect and all that other stuff too. So what is that woman overseas expecting you to do or not to do that the woman over here is expecting y'all to do? Help me out. All right. And Donovan, you jump on in when you feel like it. And denied by man, but chosen by God. Chosen. How you doing? He said he's a clown. He married a white woman who accused him of fraud. She divorced him just recently. Another white woman accused him of trying to cause harm to him. But black women are the problem. Shaking my head. Yeah. I'm going to keep reading. Buckhorn, she says, it's some fools out here. You ain't never lied. Rodney says, Dr. Umar often lays the negative behavior of black women at the feet of black men. Many who don't know these ladies. I would say that, I don't know if he lays the behavior as much, but he does say there's a lot that black men could and should be doing. But Dr. Umar is not the first to say that. But let's keep it a buck. Let's not lie on Dr. Umar. And I'm not a spokesperson for Dr. Umar, but y'all not going to tell me that y'all have not heard Dr. Umar take the sisters to task too. He take the sisters to task all the time. But somehow that conversation never enters the chat. And I'm just wondering why. Maybe I'm confused. Honeydew says, but Donovan, you watched Tommy, who spoke very harshly on black women.
Well, like I said, I think the problem when it comes to conversations, and you hear this from women all the time, delivery. Demetrius should tell me about my delivery. Screw the delivery. Listen to the message. Is what that person is saying correct, or is it correct for them? See, everybody wants to be with the kid gloves and, oh, how I feel and whatever. The message is what is important. But there was a podcast or something I was watching where, oh, it was the Ebony K. Williams thing. She was on some kind of podcast or the Breakfast Club. And you guys see that one where the girl was there with her? And the girl was like, I liked, what you were saying, but the minute that you said a certain thing, the way you said it, I just stopped listening. Hey, that doesn't change the fact that her message was correct. And that's the problem. Everybody wants to be spoon-fed. We've been doing that for 30-something years, and look at our damn community. It's time to say, you know what? All this, oh, Black people are doing fine. All this, oh yeah, we're doing great. But yet 50% of us are homeless out there in the United States, and we're less than 20% of the population. Okay. Oh, we're doing so great. Oh, do you guys realize that we're 50% of the population? No, it's time for alarm. Look at the people in Chicago about the migrants. Are they telling their elected representatives, well, the migrants shouldn't be here, and it'd be nice if you move them to somewhere else? No, they're saying get the hell out of here because there's an urgency. But is their message correct? Yes, it is. And that's what we got to start getting over, all this delivery crap. Hell with the delivery. Listen to the message.
So let me ask you this, because that question was in regards to Tommy. Are you saying that Tommy's message was correct?
Depending on what his topic was. Sometimes it was. I'm not saying he was 100% correct in everything he said. Nobody's 100% correct in everything he said. But depending on what he talked about, I'll give a good example. He talked about the women in his family. Now, I don't know the women in his family, so I can only go by what he is saying. So that's his experience. So if he thinks that his aunts and all of them are scandalous and stuff, hey, who am I to tell him how he feels? That's what I'm saying. His delivery, hey, it might not be the greatest, but if what he's saying is correct, it might be correct.
Well, y'all know how I feel about Tommy. He's a cad, for lack of better words, and doesn't sound like he's really wanted very many places, to say the least. So anyway, Michael, you say, why do some Black men get jealous of their women dating and marrying non-Black men? Why do some Black women get jealous of their men dating and marrying non-Black women? I know that there are some people on either side that get jealous per se. I think for some that have an issue with it, I think it's more or less the issue that a lot of people, whether it's a Black man or a Black woman, while they're dating somebody else of a different race, they're talking down on their own race. So I think that's kind of where the problem comes in. But I don't care who you dating. I'm not in the bed with y'all. No way, shape, or form. I ain't helping you pay no bills, Nas. I can only speak for myself. For me, it's a brother and no other. And that's all I can say about that. Yes, Buckhorse, you say you love Black women, and we love you too. Rodney says the narrative of negative stereotypes of Black women. So I want you to say, let's break down what you said, the narrative of negative stereotypes. So stereotypes aren't necessarily true. Now, are there some things that Black women do that are negative? Yes. But is it ubiquitous to Black women? No. So, it chooses to, it's what you choose to believe. You're going to believe what you see on the internet and on television about Black women. As I always tell you, I don't know any Black women who behave the way that some of these Black women do on the internet that they highlight everywhere else. But as I always ask y'all, why don't they show Black women that are doing great things, that are going about society like they got some sense and all of that? Why don't they ever show them? Because y'all wouldn't watch it. But y'all click in real quick. I guarantee you right now, if I came on here tomorrow talking about how Black women ain't this, that, and the other, I have 42 million people watching right now if I just told Black women down. But if I said, hey, today I want to tell y'all about this Black woman fund that are helping, feed the Black children and take care of the Black community. They're doing this Monday through Friday. It'd be just me on here. I'd be talking to myself. So we know that those narratives are formed to keep people tuned in. It's like a car wreck, right? Like, I shouldn't watch, but I'm going to watch anyway. So Honeydew, you says, yeah, me too. Love a brother, but they not doing us right at all. Just my lived experiences. And I like how you said your lived experiences. Listen, I've been here 52 years, and the times that I've been dating up until recently, they ain't did me too much better either. But you know what? I'm keeping hope alive. Yes, I am. I'm keeping hope alive because I know there's a brother out there that wants to be with me and only me and treat me right and a whole bunch of other stuff I shall not talk about. Okay. But we know that that's not all brothers because we have not dated all brothers, and all brothers did not do us wrong. Now, I shall say, I have seen this narrative on the internet, okay, where a lot of people are telling Black women to stop dating Black men. Y'all need to go date white men and all these other men. I'm like, no, thank you, okay? No, thank you. So I would wish that they would shut up and stop trying to persuade Black women to leave Black men alone because we need each other. You know what I'm saying? Mike Nice says, ain't nothing like a sister. You better tell him again. And Jonathan, how you doing? He says, D, the one and only. It says, I notice a lot of Black women ignore Black men who don't resemble the stereotypes. And you talk about stereotypes of Black men. And I'm sorry, what is that? But I guess I need a little bit more clarification before I expound upon that. Michael says, Demetria, more American women are materialistic than non-American women are. It is a different culture and way of life. I guess I would need a little bit more data on how you come to the conclusion that non-American women are more not as materialistic as American women. And Mike, I know you lying because I know a lot of Asian women, and I know a lot of them who got a Louis, Gucci, Prada. They know y'all some of the most materialistic people on the planet, including Asian women. And listen, I was over in Japan and I saw a whole lot of name brand, this, that, and the other, and it was Japanese women over there. So I'm trying to figure out how y'all come to the conclusion that American women are more materialistic than any other woman. Do tell.
Yeah, wasn't there a movie or a show called Crazy Rich Asians?
Yeah, it was actually a really good movie. And this one show I like on HBO called The House of Ho. It's about I think they're Vietnamese family that lives in Houston, and they got like buku money, like just money just everywhere, right? The daddy is super rich. He's worth like $400 million, and the kids are all spoiled and stuff, and he buys them houses and cars and all kinds of stuff. They take their jet to go shopping. You know, go shopping in Dallas, the high-end store. So it's like, miss me with all of that. All right. And Dart Fabi, how you doing? I hope I said that right. It says sounded ridiculous. He doesn't date Black women because of a few Black folks teasing him. I don't believe that. Yeah, I don't believe that either. I just think, and again, that's his experiences. But, come on, let's not lie to kick it. If you got, sweet tooth for white chocolate, just say that. Like, I'm going to still respect you. It's not my business.
But did he say he doesn't date Black women? Because he has a Black child, correct?
No, he didn't. He said that it has not persuaded him from dating Black women, but he, said that it messed with his self-esteem due to what he went through with Black girls, I guess, in high school. So
right, but he has a child by a Black woman, right?
Yeah, but he got a child by a white one too. Did he say
right.
Wait, did he say them not working out messed up his self-esteem?
Well, I don't know. I didn't see the whole thing, but if he did whatever, the bottom line is, my point is, if he has a Black child or he dated a Black woman or was married to a Black, I don't know. I don't think that's the issue. I mean, it seems like he's an equal opportunity dater to me. If he's hitting whatever he can hit, and most guys are like that. We're wherever we can get. We don't settle, but if there's a Black woman that falls into that realm, I mean, you're going to do. She's beautiful and all this other stuff. You're going to get with her. Relationships don't work out. I just don't remember him saying, I don't date Black women exclusively or something like that. Because if he did, wouldn't that be hypocritical?
Yeah, but he made it a point to say there was black women that messed up his self-esteem, and he ended up dating white women because I guess they, liked him or whatever. Angela, thank you so much for the donation. Love it, appreciate you for that, and welcome to the chat. He says, choose whom you want, but throughout history, Caucasian women as a collective haven't been good for African American men. I'm gonna just leave that as it is. I ain't gonna put no more context to it. Dorothy says, if you openly say you don't date your own race, you don't like yourself. I totally agree with you. Chalk Chick, how are you doing today? And Rodney says, Dr. Umar often expects black men to take up the slack for Pookie and Ray Ray. My job was to raise and protect my family, which I did. Okay. Rins G, how you doing? Says greetings, D&D. Did T.O. ever get play from any white, Asian, or Spanish women growing up because a white woman called the cops on him falsely and could have had him harmed or killed that day? Yeah, I don't know. He didn't say, right? He didn't say if they would give him any play either, but he just put that on the backs of, I would say his own women being black women. And okay, guess who's getting blocked today? Watch this. Bam. Roberto's back with his mini accounts, but guess what? He's gone again. Dorothy say T.O. had to pay child support to non-black women. Honeydew says he was not trying to uplift the community, is all. All right, let me skip down a little bit because I went ahead in the comments and I can see her. I seen him, Rans. He gone up out of here. Yeah, I got the trolls. They go. And Fly Guy says you're 100% right, DK. Don't bash some black women and some black men when dating outside a black person. Yeah, just do you. You know what I mean? Just do it. And Chalk Chick, you say, looks. Yep, I got him. I got him up out of here. Holland, how are you doing today? I hope you are doing well. And Sam, I am. Oh, well, thank you so much. You say I look good for 52. You look 28, 30 years old. Wow, you better put your glasses on. You better put your, but thank you so much. I appreciate that. Michael says, I never dated in my life. I never dated in my life because relationships are too complicated. I am skeptical about dating American women because they are too strong and controlling. Never? Michael, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking? You say you've never dated at all? And is it because you're scared of American women? Please do tell. Roberto is out of here. And Freddie says K. Michelle is telling black women to date outside their race. Yeah, I saw that. K. Michelle can't speak for nobody but herself. When I say we, I mean the sisters that love brothers. We ain't going nowhere. We don't care. We are staying. We want us a brother. Period. Point blank. Now, K. Michelle, I don't know what she on. Your average logical thinker, how you doing? Says my best friend is married to an Asian and she confirms they all must have name brand everything. Yeah, I've seen it myself. So that's why I'm like, Michael, what you talking about, Willis? And Sam, you say, I love black, beautiful women around the diaspora. Yes, indeed. Absolutely, Brother Don. I'm going to try to tell the truth as much as I can. Michael says, Demetra, America emphasizes consumption and spending. It's a capitalistic society. I think that you misunderstood me. The whole world is capitalistic. Every government on this planet is in it to win it for money. They're not like, well, we're just going to hand out these pinto beans and just hope everybody can eat the same. Every government is in it for the shmoney. Every society is capitalistic, right? Unless you know of one that's not. I'd love to probably visit it. Maybe think about setting up shop there.
Yeah, even China, a so-called socialist communist country, they've structured their economy to be capitalistic.
Yeah, so I'm just asking. And Brother Frank, how are you doing today in Black America? Thank you so much for the donation. Love and appreciate you. You says men worthless until they become somebody. Now, I wouldn't say y'all worthless, but I get what you're saying, that they got to, like show improve, right? Almost like Adam. If you think about Adam and what he did in the Garden of Eden before he got Eve, he had to show improve, right? He had to build up the garden, get his stuff together. And then he says, all right, God, I'm roaming around here butt naked in the Garden of Eden with nobody to share all this nakedness with. I'd like to have me a companion. And then God said, all right, Adam, you got everything you got, you need. You got the garden and the fruit, everything. Like, so a woman just needs to come in and just be cute and help you maintain. And of course, y'all know the story, but I get what you're saying. And Miss Dania, how you doing? It says date who you date, but don't blame it on black women. Other races don't do that. I totally agree with you. Honeydew says, y'all know Bernie Mac is known for saying how beautiful he knew he was because of being black. Absolutely black and beautiful. Uh, let's see here. Let me skip down a little bit. And Honeydew says, I agree with Black America on this. What is a black man's rite of passage? Yeah, I don't totally disagree with him at all. I believe that he's, telling the truth. I mean, you got to show and prove, right? Supposed to anyway. And Rodney says, Dr. Umar has a collectivist mentality. He fails to remember we have been reared in an individual society. Perhaps he should meet us where we are so we can get to where he's going. I get what you're saying, but then let's double back on what Donovan said. As far as having a kid gloves on with black people, like when are we going to decide to rise where we are expected to be? Now, Dr. Umar meeting us where we are, I don't think that's doing us any favors. I don't think we should meet anybody where they are, especially if they are below average, right? Not saying that we as black people are below average, but if you're being called to a higher standard, come up to the higher standard. And the things that Dr. Umar is talking about, I don't think they're terribly hard to achieve. Right? Just like it wasn't hard to achieve when Marcus Garvey was talking about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Farrakhan, and anyone else. It wasn't hard to achieve, but for some reason, our mindset is messed up to where it's like, well, I'm going to do the best I can. So, and we should be thinking as a collective because every other race thinks as a collective. They don't think on an individual basis. But black people in America, especially, we've been taught to be individuals. That has not helped us. Okay. All right, so let me skip down a little bit because I know that I'm behind. Yep. Oh boy is out of here. He come back, he's gonna be out of here again. Okay, so Michael, you says you're between your mid-20s and early 40s. How old are you, man? But nevertheless, I want to say this. I mean, I don't want to, say anything negative because you have not dated. That is your prerogative that you're waiting to date someone that is more suitable for you. And I think most people honestly should do that. Wait to date somebody who is more suitable for you. We have a habit of settling, right? Well, I'm kind of lonely. I got an itch that ain't been scratched in a long time. So I'm just going to settle down for the sake of saying I got somebody to roll around in the bed with. But then when you put your feet on the ground, it's like, I don't even think I really like them much. We're not compatible in any way. They don't do the stuff I like. In fact, they do a lot of stuff that I don't like. But I'm saying that I got somebody just so I can have a shut up. I was about to say something grosser because my dad do be watching. How you doing, Daddy? So I get it. And Black America, thank you once again. Love and appreciate you. Says MP is socially awkward. He says nice, not what girls want. So you're talking about Michael is socially. I don't know if he's socially awkward. I will say this: there's somebody for everybody. There's a lot of women who, and not my words, yours, Black America, that like a socially awkward man, because I would tell you they tend to be, pretty even in everything, and they not running the streets and all that other stuff. You can usually find them at the house. They're gonna go to work, come back home, and whatever. I don't know. Let me shut up. I need some more coffee before I have this conversation. Wilbur, how are you doing today? And Brother Samuel, how are you doing? It says, greetings, D&D. I'm down with my own. My mom said, marry your own kind. My aunt, her sister, may God be pleased with her, added further, they come in every shade. Yes. Adam Clayton Powell Jr. said it. He says, we got him. What did he say? From chalk to chocolate or something like that. We got him in every shade. He was like, brothers, why would y'all want to go date something outside of a black woman? Okay, if you don't want a darker skinned woman, go on and get you one that's lighter skinned. But basically, he was saying there ain't no excuse for a brother not to be with a black woman. None at all. So I totally agree. Ashanda, how are you doing? And thank you so much once again for having me on your lovely show. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. And for those of you guys who are not familiar with Ashanda, please go check out her channel and subscribe to it. You say, well, I came in late, but I'm here for it. Hey, Demetra and Donovan. Yeah, I see y'all talking to Michael. Say stop playing. Janelle, how you doing today? He says date whoever you choose. Yeah, I mean it's at the end of the day, it's your choice. Nobody's gonna make you date unless you live in one of those cultures that's like we got a nice Indian girl for you. We knew who she was since she was 3 years old, and that's who you gonna marry. Unless you live in one of those societies, and yeah, you date whoever you want. Hello, Mr. Easy E. How you doing today? And let's see here. Dorothy says, sure, I have complaints about Black women, but what will I do? But what I will not do, I'm sorry, is talk down about them for the world to hear and use against us. Yes, if we got to kick each other's backside, we should do that in private. You know what I'm saying? Because again, the stuff we're seeing on the internet, that is not descriptive of all Black people. Like I'm telling y'all, I'm not on the internet a lot. The only time I spend a lot of time on the internet is if I'm looking for stories. And so I'll do that a lot on TikTok. And my God, almost every video, and my daughter says I need to change my algorithm or something like that. But every video almost I come across is the Black men are this, get you a white man, or Black women. And I would admit, that I actually see more Black women doing it now. Talking bad about Black men. And I see a lot of
now. It's been going on for 30-something years. What are you talking about?
I'm saying as far as like, between the divestors and the manosphere, I actually see the I guess you call them the divestors. I see that conversation coming from them a lot. And I could just be my timeline on TikTok because again, I'm not on there much. And I also see as I say, the sassy sisters, the sisters that's not really sisters, that but want to be sisters of the LGBT community telling Black women, y'all need to leave Black men alone and go on out there and date other men. It's like, why? So y'all can have them all to yourself? What's going on here? Rodney says, my wife was with me when I had nothing but a bachelor's degree, broke, going through stage 4 cancer. Nobody's entitled to a finished product if they weren't part of creating it, to each their own. And, big ups to your wife for helping you and staying with you through your struggles. And I'm glad that you are, it sounds like you are cancer free. But you say nobody's entitled to a finished product if they weren't part of creating it, to each their own. I don't agree with that. There's a lot of people who come in when the product is finished. It's when you get with that finished product, do you appreciate it? You know what I'm saying? Now, if you get in there talk about, this, that, and the other, and then you trying to rearrange and change, yeah, that's a different story. But there's a lot of people who get with somebody who's, like I said, and I keep bringing this up, but in the Garden of Eden, Adam, he was a finished product. He didn't get Eve when he was planting the seeds and there was weeds and stuff all up in the garden and there was no fruit on the tree. He didn't get her then. He got her when everything was finished. So people are entitled to that. But I would say this, if you are one that's considered a finished product, don't get with somebody who ain't going to appreciate your finished product, or don't get with somebody who going to undo your finished product, right? That's on you to be a little bit more discerning. But I agree with the building on the ground floor too, but the thing is this, whether it's a man or a woman, I think y'all have to be willing to build. Don't get into a relationship and see somebody is dilapidated and you're like, well, that's your problem, or whatever the case is. We should be helping each other, but to each his own with that as well. And Buckhorse says, I was born and raised by Black women and am proud. Yes, indeed. And Janelle says, generalizing folks by color and race is stupid. It is, especially on this thing we call the internet, because you'll see 1 or 2 or 1,300 silly sisters twerking or doing something, twerking or doing something crazy. Then people just automatically assume all Black women out there twerking and, acting a fool and cussing out people in public and wearing bonnets. And no, that ain't all Black women. It's some Black women, but we just choose to highlight the sisters who ain't acting right all like that,
And it's the same for men. It's the same exact thing for men. But we don't get that narrative.
Yeah, but again, that's the internet. That's the internet. This thing called the internet. Trying to say Black men are this, Black men ain't that, and all this other stuff. Like I hear a lot about Black men harming Black women. Oh, Black men harming black women. They harm black women the most. It's like, no, duh. It's about proximity. Crime is about proximity. The white woman will say the same thing about the white man. The Asian woman and the Hispanic woman, they all gonna say the same thing. Yes, Humberto whooped my behind over and over and over and over again, right? So it's not just black men that are doing it. It's about proximity. That's that whole narrative of black on black crime. But we don't hear anything about white on white crime or Asian on Asian crime. It's this thing called black on black crime. So they try to spin it into black man on black woman crime. But then if you want to be fair, there's black women that harm black men. I mean, I've seen a couple of videos where some sisters and took their whole car to a brother, ran him over, backed him over, and then kept doing it. So it's like, so again, this internet is going to make us try to believe things that are, people can make a post and everybody run off with it and don't even check and see if it's true. So let's see here. Beverly says divestors are crazy. Black men are the bomb. You better believe it. I just, man, no shade to any other man on this planet, but I just couldn't see doing it. Like, to me, it's the equivalent of choosing a casserole made by Karen over some macaroni made by Sister Jenkins. The hell I look like choosing some casserole for. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm gonna have to jump in here because, Demetra, stop the cap. Stop the cap. El DeBarge is not a brother, okay? He's not a brother.
Shit.
All right.
I'm gonna tell you, know why he a brother? Because he got 1,400 kids by 1,300 women. I'm just playing because I'm joking. I know somebody will get all mad. But trust me, El DeBarge is a brother. Not too long ago, he was arrested with not having no tags on the car. Now, that sounds like a brother to me. Y'all better leave El DeBarge alone. And Buckhurst says, Donovan, have you heard about that attack on? Yeah, we heard about it, but we ain't gonna talk about it. And we got a reason we ain't gonna talk about it, because it's like, what y'all having for dinner? You know what I'm saying? So we just watching. We're watching. Michael says, in relationships, it's about how you start and how you finish in life. I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Ashonda says, black women are not Barb the Builder. Come ready or don't come at all. So I think you're basically saying is that, I won't put words in your mouth, but we deserve to go to a situation that's built as well. Because I know the narrative is a lot of times too, as far as sisters, girl, get in there and help him build, help him be somebody. And I agree with that. But sometimes when you go in there and help him be somebody, he leave you for somebody else.
but that also sounds like, and I respect Ashonda's thing there, because I know where she's going with that. But doesn't that go also hand in hand with the fact that women expect men to be traditional, but then when men expect the same woman to be traditional, my money is my money. This is that. I mean, isn't it supposed to be, if a woman wants a man to do all these things that traditional men have done, shouldn't men expect a woman to do all the traditional things women are supposed to do in history and society, grandma, whatever the deal is? And I think that's where the disconnect is, because and a lot of young people that I talk to, young women that I talk to, even some women that are my age, they want the man to be traditional, but they don't want to be traditional.
As I said, my brother, I know traditional sisters that's like, listen, I be traditional every day. What's so funny is lately, and I talked to my daughter about certain things, basically about relationships. She says, you're a boy happy. You're a boy happy. Because of some of the things I said, oh, I just wish I had a man to cook.
That's a social construct.
She told me, she said, you boy happy. That's how I used to tell the young girls back in the day, you just boy happy. You just, boys. And so I guess lately I kind of been talking like that. I was like, man, I wish I had a man to cook for and to buy stuff for. Oh, I can't wait till I do all that. And she's like, what's going on with you? What's going on with you? You wasn't talking like that, a couple of months ago, I'm like, I've changed. I miss it. I want that now, so boy, happy it is. And Black America, thank you once again for the donation. Love and appreciate you. Says there's not someone for everybody. Men need, and it's our driving force in life. If you nerdy, fat, awkward, broke, too short, bad teeth, you won't get a chance.
Well, I'm gonna disagree with that because you could be all of that. These fat women have children. They have multiple children. So somebody is getting something.
He talking about the men though. The men can't be that. I don't know. I beg to differ. I see people like that all the time with a woman. So I don't know. I tend to believe there's somebody for everybody. Now I will say this: if you with somebody that has some of that stuff going on, whether you're a man or a woman, and you like that person, be like, hey man, let's go on to the dentist, let's get your teeth fixed, and and let's go to the track, let's run around. I'm gonna make you a nice salad. Now I know y'all brothers don't really like salads like that, but I'm gonna make you one anyway, okay? And if you good on the weekend, I'm gonna fry you a piece of chicken. But during the week, you gonna get you some vegetables and some lean stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I see men like that all the time with women.
But that also brings in the question of the Blade and Bassinet Street. It's a lot of those guys that are awkward like that happen. If you go to Europe, that's one of the reasons why they have a red light district. So those guys that don't have to compete or be in that situation. Or what about the people that are handicapped? They're in wheelchairs. They still like to have sex and stuff. And I mean, how are they going to go about it if there's no access to do so? So.
Yeah, and Bobby Williams, how you doing? He says, Demetri K, I love a sister blue black, so you like them dark skinned. Yes,
my grandmother was blurple, and her skin was flawless, and I have a thing for dark skinned women as well.
Did you say your grandmama was blurple?
She was blurple. I mean, flawless skin to where you couldn't. I mean, if she had cut herself, there wouldn't even be a scar. I mean, her skin was just flawless, just beautiful. It was just beautiful.
I totally agree. I'm the lightest out of my family, my siblings, and I've always wanted to be dark skinned. But I tell you this, I often get accused by this one over here saying that I like El DeBarge and light skinned brothers. Let me tell y'all something. My daughter's father was the second coming of Big Daddy Kane. I'm gonna tell you, ooh wee! He was nice chocolate. When I say he was like that.
You were rebelling. You were rebelling.
Please, I know I've dated some dark skinned brothers, brother. When I tell you, y'all know that special Hershey's special dark chocolate. That was him. I mean, he still is, right? Nice, good looking brother. Like the second coming of Big Daddy Kane is the best way I could describe it. So I like them all too. And Rodney says, brothers and sisters, find the ones who is perfect for you. You have standards, but don't put them so high that no human can meet them. Word of advice. Yeah, I think we should be realistic, right? I totally agree. Especially when we get older, it's like, all right, sister, the chances of you meeting a 6 foot tall, 6 figure and six, it's probably pretty fleeting out there. You might need to get a man that's about 5'7", 5'10", or whatever it is. Hell, 5'4" at the rate.
Works a trade. It makes 100,000, 70, 80,000 a year,
Hell, listen, let me tell you something. I'd be happy with a brother making $40,000 a year, okay? Now, that's not lowering my standards. I never was one of those type of women that's like, oh, no, he's got to be having 6 figures. I mean,
if he owns the bus. If he owns the bus.
Nah, see, listen, I'm going to tell y'all, it's getting, this one sister said, Donovan, we covered this a long time ago. She was mad at the brothers. She said, it's slim pickings out there. She said it's some slim pickings out there. Now, listen, I don't want to take it that far that it's some slim pickings, but listen, okay, as my daughter says, I guess I'm boy happy, or at my age, I'm man happy. And I think that's a good thing because, I'm starting to like, okay, it's time for me to be a missus again, so that's a whole different conversation. Brother Samuel, and say, yes, date whom you like. The Bible says, choose this day whom ye shall serve. I will say this, it is natural to go with your own kind. Bluebirds go with bluebirds. Red birds go with red birds, even though they are all birds. Solomon's father warned him about those Philistine women. It's the enemy's last trick to offer you his woman to take you down with him. Yep.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up about the Philistine women. Didn't Samson get taken down by a woman that wasn't of his tribe and of his faith?
Delilah. There's some
Delilah, yeah.
Delilahs out there, and there's a whole lot of Samsons out there. I don't care what you say. I'm going to be with her because she got a big old booty. I want her, and I got to have her. And then you get with Delilah, and then she dilapidates your whole kingdom, and then you be looking stupid.
Well, I can say this for me. After seeing what my brother went through by sampling the lemon of the white man, I think I've been traumatized ever since.
Right. Well, thank God you learned from his mistakes, okay? Fly Guy says, laugh my ass off, Demetri. Your analogy about Karen's casserole, though, too funny. But did y'all get the point? Like, what the hell I look like? Come on. Yes. And make sure I get some extra raisins and peas in my casserole. I just love it.
Would you like a little seasoning with that?
No, Karen. The hold back all the matter of fact, I don't want you to sprinkle no salt, no pepper. I just want it bland the way you people like it. I don't think so. Okay. Give me the macaroni and cheese every day. And I prefer the kind with the egg in it, like my grandmama used to make. Okay. And Michael says, Donovan and Demetri, I did not have a great experience asking my friend out on a date after being friends for over 5 years. My dear brother Michael, can I give you a little word of advice? We love and appreciate you here. So I do mean this from a good place. And if I'm out of line, I'm sure Donovan will tell me that I am. My dear brother, you was friends with a woman for 5 years. I think she made it pretty clear that she just wanted to be friends. Now, I respect your courage in saying, well, maybe I can move it along a little further. But I don't know. I should ask you, were you waiting 5 years, like trying to figure out what is the best way to approach her? Because sometimes, and I'll tell you just from being a woman, sometimes we do put men into the friend zone, right? Especially if a man is like, you know what, don't worry. I got it. I'll take care of it. Oh, do this, do that. So she's like, okay, well, as long as he never asks me out, I'm good. And I'm going to continue taking all of the things that he's giving me. But the minute he asks me out, I'm going to have to remind him of his place in the friend zone. I don't know if that was your situation, but I just kind of giving my insight.
My advice on that, Mike, she friend zoned you. Stop wasting your time and start doing other things, because sometimes, because women are fickle like that. And I'm not like a relationship expert. I'm the last person to ask about relationships. But I have found in my experience that when you stop dealing with that woman, you stop calling her. Sorry about that. You stop calling her. All of a sudden, you start looking different to her. Then she sees you out with other women, or you're doing other things. You don't have time for her. Then she's like, wait a minute. Wait, Mike, we don't go out anymore. We don't do this anymore. We don't. So, try to do that.
Yeah, definitely. She friend zones you. You probably, Dana, can you bump that air up a little bit? It's kind of hot in here. And Brother Donnie says, did you see the video Phil premiered this afternoon titled Toxic Women Want Men to Break the Law to Prove They Love Them? I have not seen it, but yeah, that's definitely a thing. I mean, there's some women out there that would want a man to do some things he's not supposed to be doing. But I would say to you men, anybody that's trying to jeopardize your freedom, that ain't love. That ain't love at all. You might want to leave her alone. That's the best advice I can give you on that. Hello, Tracy. How you doing? Fly Guy, he says, dang, DK and Don speaking super facts this evening. We tried to. And Tisha, you say in 2023, what's traditional? Everyone is working. Everyone. Yeah. And that might need to be redefined, right? Like, what is traditional? Ashanda, you say, I'm traditional. I work too. All I'm saying is Black women are taught to settle. We should be taught how to have standards. I agree with that. And I will say this too. I'm a little older. And I remember the generation of women before me, my mom and my grandmothers, those women had standards. As I said, my daughter's grandmother on the father's side, she says, I wouldn't buy a man a Pepsi Cola. Okay. And I was like, well, damn. She basically saying it's not proper for women to be doing for men. Of course, we heard a lot of the older women say, oh, don't buy a man no shoes. Don't do this because he's going to walk out of your life in them. And all of that. So I do remember the women back then saying, yeah, let a man be a man. let him, help you, let him do for you, and things like that. But yeah, we should definitely actually teach each other to have standards of one another. And let's be realistic too, right? If the brother is doing the best he can, he's not making six figures or whatever the case, he's doing the best he can, try to work with that brother, and he should be trying to work with you too. But yeah, we definitely should have some sort of some standards. And let's see here. And Honeydew says, I think men are easily persuaded and they don't want to admit it. Oof. Okay. All right, let me skip down a little bit so that I can make sure that I'm keeping up, so I understand you guys' comments. Oh, hold on a second. I was like, what happened to him? All right. Okay, so that's Donovan doing his thing. So I guess he's trying to bring up on his computer. All right. Here. And Shonda says, Demetri, if it's not in them to want to, no amount of prodding will make them. A man must be self-motivated. I totally agree. I totally agree. You got to be motivated to go out there and get it, right? Do whatever it is you need to do. And they will. They just have to find the motivation. But I agree. Lady Blue says, I just saw a video of Big Daddy Kane yesterday, so you know what I'm talking about when I say my baby daddy was fine. He was fine. He still looks good now. He's just a little older, but yeah, big the second coming of Big Daddy Kane. Lord have mercy. Dorothy says, you have to maintain the status of a woman. Status a woman meets you at. If I lose my job, she will leave. But I have had women tell me they should be accepted for who they are. You know what, though? Yeah, I guess I've heard that. Some women leaving or whatever, they man lost their job. But yeah, I think that's fair to admit that the man should be able to maintain the status that he was, had when they met. Because yes, she gonna be giving him the side eye, right? Like, ain't you going to look for a job today? It's been a couple of weeks. You laying around here looking crazy. You might need to get out there, and put your feet to the street or something. But as far as women saying that we should be accepted for who we are, yeah, unfortunately, that is a conversation that a lot of women have. You better accept me for the way I am, sucker. I know I'm 50 pounds heavier than I was when we got married, but so what? Gravity wins, and you should shut up. And that's not right. Y'all have heard me talk about that before.
But then again, you also got to think about it like this, ladies. When you get with the man at a younger age and you guys go through life together, whatever, do you guys realize that man is always going to see you as he saw you when you were 22 or 25 or when he met you and stuff like that? No matter, you might gain some pounds and do all that. And I've talked to some of my friends that have been together for 40 years. And one of my buddies told me, he goes, I still see her the way she was when she was in college. And even though, reality says she's, gained weight and done all this other, he goes, no, I've been with her so long, so that's another aspect you got to look at when it comes to relationships. If you do it, when you're younger and you stay together, they're always going to see you the way that you were.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should do our best to be appeasing to each other. Life happens or whatever, but come on now. Fly Guy says 80,000 is not bad. You can save at least $1,200 a month living in the DMV. Yeah, $1,200 is good depending on where you live, right? California, not so much. Kiki, how you doing? It says, hey, peeps, date whoever you want to date, but don't generalize all sisters. He has Black kids and has been with Black women. So obviously his skin color was accepted by some Black women. I think he might have a personal complex with his own skin color. Isn't he the same brother who was crying the other year about the white woman being racist? So obviously a lot of white women don't accept his skin color either. Yes, that is the same brother. You make a good point, and welcome to the chat. A lady, how you doing? Says Black men do not feel obligated to date and marry Black women. Neither should Black men. But again, that's not all true. That's what we see on this internet. But I know Black people who are with Black people. So.
And then let's just say this. I mean, I agree with you, Demetri. You've got that aspect of a lot of that stuff is not true. But for ladies, if they're not getting married, are you giving standards? I mean, are you saying this is what you expect in the relationship, whatever? Unfortunately, a lot of women do not put there's standard out there for a guy to have to live up to. I mean, I've got nieces, and I'm just like, how are you complaining about this man or this situation when you did not establish what your expectations were?
Absolutely. Easy. Thank you so much for the donation. Love and appreciate you. I see y'all got caught up on my big booty Delilah comment. Y'all know I ain't lying. A lot of y'all got caught up with big booty Delilah. You just don't want to admit it. Darth admitted it, but the rest of y'all gonna be like, not me.
No, we're trying to find out what's behind the booty.
You need to. Yes. What's behind the booty? That's the question that should be pondered by every man. Listen. It's giant. It's nice. And I'm probably going to get in a lot of trouble. But before I do, what else does she have going on behind that big old giant wagon that she's dragging? You know what I'm saying? What's in the wagon? Is it just an empty wagon? Or is there something in there?
4 kids, 3 baby daddies.
Y'all don't be asking all that when y'all see that big old booty. Y'all don't ask that at all. Honeydew says women are generally keepers of tradition, but if the men don't care, what should we do? We are not going to keep the tradition of toxic. And then I think your comment cut off. All right, so let me skip down a little bit. Steve, how are you doing this fine evening? Maureen, what's going on with you? And Brother Samuel says, I would love a good salad with my meals as long as it isn't iceberg lettuce. Yeah, we don't mess with iceberg lettuce, brother. We know ain't nothing in that iceberg lettuce. Ain't nothing at all, no nutrients at all. And that I would never put iceberg lettuce on the table.
That's why you add some bacon bits, and then you add some Italian dressing.
No, we don't do bacon bits either, okay? Well, because bacon bits comes from the swine. We don't mess with bacon bits. Michael, you said, Demetra and Donovan, I was trying to get to know my friend well. She was focused about advancing her career. I get it. Mike.
The modern woman, and I'm going to say modern woman, they make the mistake of putting career before relationships. And just like the woman Ebony K did, she just admitted it doesn't matter how much she makes, who she works for, how much she stays in shape or whatever. Once that wall is undefeated, and by the time they figure it out, it's too late, because that good guy like yourself you're going to move on and get married or whatever the deal is. And that's when they look back and then they find out that nobody's checking for them, because unfortunately women have a window in their childbirth years and all this other stuff. We could go through the science of it, but that's what Ebony K. Williams was trying to tell the sisterhood. Hey, don't, it doesn't matter. I think Ebony K. Williams is a lawyer. She's a lawyer, and she's a media host or whatever. Very successful woman. But she realized, hey, it doesn't matter. For women, all of that stuff does not matter. And by the time they figure it out, it's too late, unfortunately.
Hello, Al. You say white men. I guess this is what they're saying. You look nice today. Is that what they're saying to women? What are we doing here? And Shaniqua says, if you with a man and he is not doing anything, no potential wire, are you with him? Especially when you have kids, you got to know your worth and respect. If that's the case, you should be by yourself. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree, because there's a difference between a man that's not trying to do anything and a man that's trying to do something and maybe just be down on his luck or something like that. I totally believe that there's a difference. But if you're just trying to be with a man, as my father says, a woman do not need a man to help her do nothing. Like, brother, can you come take out the trash? Is there something you can do? You know what I mean? Something.
Did anybody see that? It's a video in regards to where this girl, she was like showing pictures of Ray Ray and Pookie and Jamar and all those guys. And, these guys got their pants sagging. They're showing the guns. They're showing the money. They're showing the gold teeth or whatever the stereotypical thing is. And she said, these are the guys a lot of women are picking, like, yeah, this guy would be a great father. This guy would be a great guy to build with. Anybody see those videos?
And you said the women were saying what?
Well, the girl was pointing out how women are complaining about men, but these are the men that they're picking. The guy that looks like this, that stereotypical look or whatever the deal is, and they're getting pregnant by him or whatever. And she's like, this is the guy you thought would make a great father. The guy that's in the street or doing, the wrong thing at the wrong time. But unfortunately, and it's real, let's be real about it. Younger girls, they want these guys, and God bless them. God bless them. But but when you make that decision, you got to live with it.
Again, that's the narrative of the internet. I can't think of too many women that want a degenerate of a man. Of course, we see it blown up on the internet all the time. Ashonda says, Donovan, stop the cap. Why men leave their wives for younger women then? It's something you say.
Okay, I've said it on the show many times. Men value youth and a woman's ability to create children. That is one of the number one reasons that they leave their wives. I've dated several women that said, well, I don't want any more children, right? Okay, that's fine, whatever. But what if I did want children? So let me get this straight. These two guys that you were never married to, you gave them children, but here I am, a square, an L7. I might want children. You won't give me any. Okay, fine, whatever the deal is. I will go and find a woman that is younger who will. Men gravitate to women who are in their childbearing years, because that's when you're most likely in your prime. And most guys, that's what you do. We're programmed that way.
I have to take a sip of this.
Go ahead and take a sip. I mean, I don't expect women to understand it, but the reality of the matter is, men value youth. You ask any man in this chat right now, if they had a chance to date a Beyonce, let's say, and I don't think Beyonce's all that. Trust me, I like Kelly Rowland. But let's say a Beyonce at 25 versus Beyonce in her 40s. They're always going to pick the younger one or the younger you. They're always going to pick the younger you. And that's a fact. Men value women that are younger and in their prime childbearing years. That's just how we're programmed.
I had to think 5 times before I spoke. I ain't trying to get the party started just yet. I'm gonna wait just a little bit, okay? Black America, once again, thank you for the donation. You must have hit one of those jackpots there in Las Vegas, but then you did say you was balling out of control. But thank you so much. Say great point, Donovan. We see women like cars, don't I know it? Y'all want to treat them like a car too. Y'all want her to act like a Ferrari, but y'all treating her like a Volkswagen. Steve says, I don't care to have that dog hair all over the house. I'll stay with my sisters.
But doesn't the weave leave dog hair as well?
No.
Doesn't that leave dog hair as well? Doesn't it? Doesn't that shed as well?
Hell to the no. In my Barack Obama voice, when he had to get the reporter straight about his mama-in-law and the dog, what you not gonna do is compare no sister to no dog hair. That's what you're not gonna do, okay? The dog hair sheds, but you ain't gonna compare no sister, because y'all know what? I ain't gonna think about this 5 times. Y'all get with that white woman and her hair be all over the place, including in that casserole, and y'all. Oh, okay. That's all.
Well, the reason why I ask is because I've never dated the other woman. We know that for a fact. Even though a lot of sisters, and here's a funny thing, I'll be at a club or something. I don't really go to a lot of clubs anymore, but sisters would look at me and say that I look like a guy that dates white women, and I've never dated a white woman in my life.
As long as you stay black, my brother, don't you ever compare no sister hair to no dog hair. I don't care if it is a weave. Don't you ever.
That ain't her hair, though.
Brother Samuel, you crazy. He said, Dick Gregory said, doo-doo is behind the booty. Yeah, but that don't stop y'all. Y'all be like, well, hello there. What do we? I would tell y'all right now, I'm very loopy. For a whole lot of reasons, not drug related, I should say, nothing to do like that. Just, I don't know. endorphins that kicked in. Kiki says Donovan makes a very valid point. However, it must be acknowledged that a lot of sisters are single because we have standards as well, though. What's his advice on that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, trust me. There are a lot of sisters out there that have standards and stuff, and unfortunately, you got a lot of weak men out there that can't deal with that kind of standard. Me personally, I love strong, centric women that have standards and stuff like that. But the difference is, though, when a woman tries to takes my role as a man, that's where I have a problem. But it's unfortunate there are women out there that have a certain standard, and the men pool is very, very small. It's very small. Again, a lot of women look back after they put their careers first. The good man, he's married. This guy's taken. You got guys out here, and let's just be real. I'm gonna give you guys the game real quick. You got guys that got themselves together. They're making six figures, whatever. You hear it all the time. They have options. They're not in a rush to get married. They're not in a rush to do certain things. So, they'll put you in the rotation. I mean, ladies, that's I know you guys don't want to hear this stuff, but that's what's going on because the pool is so small. The pool is very small of those eligible guys. It's a small pool.
I'm going to say this to y'all, dear, beautiful brothers out there. What y'all not going to do is force a woman who don't want to be in a relationship with you and a copious amount of other women. Y'all not going to force her to do that. There are a lot of women just like, I'll just be single. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, I'm one of those women. I cannot even think of sharing because I know me, right? I'd be wanting to, to stick somebody, thinking about somebody being with my man. So I'm like, I couldn't do. Where is your man today? Well, today he's with Susan, and he swings by here every Wednesday. I just can't do it. And so, and Al, you say, my Aunt Dell used to say, if it's just sex a man wants, don't ask me where I'm going. You have visitation, not custody. You know what I'm saying? If that's all you want, then basically you can't stake no ownership to this. If I allow you to have some of it, then that's on you can, but you don't have no ownership over it, and you can't tell me what to do. That's the wisdom of the older women per se. All right, so let's move through these comments. I
got to preempt real quick. We got to hurry up. America's team is about to play on NBC, so you guys stand by. Like I said, if the Cowboys do well, America does well.
That explains it. Being Forever, how you doing? It says, for me, I'm older. It's not about the booty. It's about her occupation, where she works at. Can she help me work at the company, getting me a good position? And can I make good pay with her? Then we could be okay. So you're saying as an older gentleman, it's about other things. You have transcended the booty. You are on to higher aspirations. I can dig it. Black America, thank you once again. You say, Mike, stop making yourself look bad. We need a mentor. Oh, Lord. I ain't going to get into that. Lady Blue says, every woman doesn't want children. That is true. She does not. And, like I said, I thought 5 times before I opened my mouth, so I ain't going to say nothing about that just yet. Ashonda says, Donovan, I just heard a story of a woman making $90,000. Her husband said, quit your job and have our baby. She said, no, he left her for a side chick she didn't know about. He tried to play her. Ain't that some mess? So what if she would have quit that job? And he already rolling around in the hay with another woman. Right.
And it's unfortunate he had a side chick. But notice, what you're forgetting in that story is he left because, I don't know if he left it particularly because she didn't want to have a baby, but that's what the husband wanted. And she didn't want to go with that program. So they went their separate ways. That's just how it is. But I'm telling you guys, men are programmed to want women that can bear them children and a legacy. I know you guys don't want to hear it, but that's how we're programmed.
So what about if y'all men already have children? What's y'all excuse for getting with younger women?
What do you mean? Are we married? Are we still single?
If you're single, if you're getting with other women. So if y'all already have children, what's your excuse if you already have children with getting with younger women? Do you want
because we are programmed to mate with as many women as we can. I mean, that's just the nature of how men are programmed. If we didn't have that programmed in us, the human race would be extinct. That's just I know you ladies cannot fathom how it is. That's kind of like asking men to understand why women always feel about a certain situation rather than being logical about it. We are wired a certain way. Men, just like in the animal kingdom, I use this all the time. The alpha male is the only one that mates with all the females in the pack. The other docile guys, they get the sloppy seconds. That's just how we're made.
Sloppy seconds, my brother. Sloppy seconds.
When I say sloppy seconds, you know what I'm saying. It's like, okay, if I'm the alpha male and there's 50 chicks in the tribe or whatever, I'm gonna mate first. Once I'm finished, then the other guys can get whatever's happening. And if you look at a lot of in the animal kingdom, and again, I know Dimitri doesn't agree with this, people are animals. We have the same genetic system. We're mammals. We're the same as any other mammal. Same system, same sexual organs, and how we do things. And that's just how men are programmed. We're programmed to do that.
Okay. Now you say, listen to the song King George made for a black woman called Girl, You Got It. Yes, that is a nice song. Very inspirational too. Brother Salmon says, however, please let her be mature. Yes. You know, because I will say this too. I don't know if you're talking about the younger women, but yeah, there's a lot of men going after these younger women. And as I say, y'all want the young women to act like Gloria Dean, talking about, oh, she don't cook, she don't do this, she don't do that. It's like, well, you didn't marry an older one. You didn't get with an older woman. You got with a, taut, tenderoni, young thing, that looked good to you, but she wasn't good for you. So, you know what I'm saying? You gonna
all I'm going to say is if these guys that are dealing with the hepatitis reds and all that other stuff, good luck with that, because I don't want no parts of that stuff.
Yeah, quit it. Y'all, if Sexy Red gave y'all just a half a time a day, y'all run off with her some damn where you look to the left, look to the right, make sure ain't nobody looking, and y'all will be all in.
To me, that woman isn't even cute. I just don't see who named her Sexy Red? Who named her that?
I mean, regardless, y'all to mess with a Sexy Red at a time in y'all life. Shonda says, I got an off question. Why did Tony Evans at 70-something years old feel the need to get remarried after his wife died and to a younger woman? He old. So that's is that the pastor? His wife just passed up.
Yeah, is that Tony Evans or is that the speaker? Is that the speaker guy?
Maybe he's both.
Yeah, I don't know. But again, see, that goes to show you how men are programmed. We are programmed to do that because with an older woman, your chances of leaving a legacy with a woman that doesn't want any more kids or biologically she can't have any more kids is very, very low. You think about it. Back in the day, my dad is the second oldest of 22. My mom is the oldest of 12. People had big families. So, I mean, that's just how men are programmed. We're just programmed to do that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's known that older men, they like younger women. It's kind of as old as time. And I think some older women like younger men too. But I think the expectations on either side are a little bit different. As I said, I think older women who get with a younger man, she know what his job function is. Listen, I don't need you to come in here and I don't need you to do nothing. Just go. Listen, go
That's
right.
Good work if you can get it, fellas.
Go right to the bedroom, okay? Mama gonna bring you some greens, cornbread, and fried up some chicken earlier. You gonna eat on that, and we gonna sit up and watch a little Matlock or MASH or whatever it's called. We gonna watch some Golden Girls, and then we gonna make it do what it do.
I got the Bengay at the side of the bed ready.
Whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm not I think an older woman ain't expecting a younger man to come in and be, make her a missus and all that. She like, listen, I got some good income coming in. I'm retired. I got my house. I got my car. I just need an itch scratch. I can't reach myself. every once in a while, young tenderoni you, okay? And then you come back next week and I'm gonna have you something good to eat, and we're gonna do the same old thing. We're gonna watch my programs. You know how old people say my program coming on? We're gonna watch my programs. And then after that, whatever happened. But see, the men on the other hand, they think y'all gonna bring in a young tenderoni, and she gonna come in and make the house a home and all this other stuff. She ain't. Some of them might. I don't want to discredit the young women like that. Some of them might, but nowadays that ain't where their head is, because they're like, listen, if I marry this old cooter, I'm probably gonna have to change his diapers and stuff in like 5 years. Because if Tony Evans is 70 and he's got a younger woman, where he's got a good 10. Maybe 15, give or take, years in him, unless he's taking care of himself, that wife is going to have to invest in a whole lot of baby wipes. And I don't think she signed up for that. All right, so let's see here. All right, let me scroll down, because I know I'm behind here in the comments. Brother Nine says, my nephew got married young, handled his business and 6 figures, and his American wife, black, is driving him nuts. He doesn't have a side chick. He has a second wife. He wants more sons. Okay. And Steve says, I don't want a younger woman. They cat. He said they can't be too pissy. What?
Well, it's going to have some miles on it. It's funny how these younger girls, they have more mileage than the older women. So it's like taking a Ferrari on Interstate 15 going toward Vegas. You got all that open country and you're just opening the car up.
Black America, thank you once again. You say younger women have better box. I'm sorry, ladies. Well, I mean, I don't know. I have to take your word for that one, okay? Wilbur, you say he's talking from a pure scientific level, okay? And I know I'm behind. Lady Blue, you say, I've been with both younger and older men. I rather younger men. I'm not for the honey packs the older men need, with all due respect. What the hell is a honey pack?
The blue pills. The blue pills.
That is something to think about, while we listening to the men talking about, I want me a younger woman and all this other stuff because she got to be doing this, that, and the other. Y'all forget y'all got to shake up the blue pills like y'all rolling dice. Hope
and
that
y'all talking about Pound Town? Oh my gosh, you're talking about hours of Pound Town.
How you know?
Remember, I have friends that are in the industry, and that's what they're using on these industry. And these girls are getting injured on set.
Steve, you crazy. You say, I'm not going behind another man. She better wash it out first. That's nasty. Well, how would you know? She ain't gonna tell you. How would you know? And as I always said, sex is a little bit more than just, okay, let me know when you're done. There's a lot more to that. And so how do you know she ain't, another man and been where you going down under shortly before you did it? How do you know? You don't. Unless that's where the pissy smell is coming from. Let me shut up. My daddy is watching. Darshan, he says older women, bronze women, smart too. I don't know what that means. A lady says they get the young women pregnant, then leave her because she can't cook. Become welcome to the Black community. Oh, y'all ain't open up the link. If y'all want me to open up the link, I will. I'll open up the link, although I'm kind of afraid due to this topic we're having. Hello, Ashley. How you doing? Brother Don says, if I were to marry, she would be melanated and in her childbearing years. I want a legacy through sons. Yeah, and I think that's really you're right.
Most of the guys, that is how we're wired. That is exactly how we're wired.
Brother Don, I don't think he has any children. So of course he wants children. And I don't know how Brother Don is. I think he's younger than me. But, he can still have children. And a woman my age, the factory is shut down. Thank God.
And you just approved everything that I said. That's exactly why men go to younger women. We value women's youth.
But see, the other thing is Sister Trina and on Facebook, how you doing, by the way? She says it's BS. You should know if a woman wants kids or not before you get with her. So I'm not gonna get with no man, especially if you're my age, talking about he still wants some children. Like, brother, you SOL trying to get some children out of me. It'd be like the Virgin Mary because it ain't happening, right? So I wouldn't get with a man who wants some children.
Absolutely, but and I agree with you. But I think the question was, why do men leave for younger women, or we leave the thing? Because that's how we're programmed. Men want a legacy. We want our legacies. Some men don't. Some men don't. There's not all of us. Just just in general, that's how we're programmed.
Okay. Ashonda says, I believe you, Donovan. The man code is something we women can't understand. Just know y'all taught the next generation of women to be like you.
I will agree with you, but I would disagree, because I'm seeing Mama, and God rest the 5-star. He said this all the time. 304s come in 3 generations. So you'll see the mama in the club, the daughter in the club, and the granddaughter in the club.
Y'all see the grandmama, the mama, and the daughter in the club with your granddaddy, your daddy, and you. Okay, so let's not leave out that part of it, because they ain't in the club by themselves. They out there with y'all. Y'all know there's an old Negro in the club. No, he should have been out of the club 30 years ago, but there he is. Talking about, is that sexy red? Al, you say angry black note to terrible husband. He says your dinner, I think he meant black woman, to terrible husband. Your dinner is in the cookbook page 40 and ingredients are at the damn store. You wowed. So Ashanta, you're saying, okay, so the pastor Tony Evans, he's the one that got remarried to a younger woman. All right, so all right, so Trina, there you are. How you doing? It says Tony Evans, the pastor, and he already has children, including a namesake. Yeah, so he probably ain't out there trying to have no children unless the woman maybe wants some children or whatever. But so I think context does matter. Facts, not feelings. There you are. Where'd you go? It says men leave their wife because she cut off the sex or she starts being feminine. Women leave men if she thinks she can do better. Yeah, I think that's you're on to something there. Stop being feminine. I think that's actually a pretty good ideology there, because yeah, women can stop being feminine for whatever reason. You know, it happens. Yes, Dwayne, Matlock. You want to watch some Matlock? I'll find it on Tubi or something.
Hey. Matlock was a great show. Andy Griffith was a great actor. Check out A Face in the Crowd, directed by Eli Kazan, the same guy that did A Streetcar Named Desire. Excellent show.
Yes, indeed. And Kiki says, good point. I don't think it's about leaving a legacy for many of them. I think it's just about younger coaching. It says some of those same men either don't take care of the kids they have or have had women to get rid of kids. So that's not absolute.
No, it's not an absolute. But again, just like in the animal kingdom, when they're out there mating and doing what they're doing, in the animal kingdom, what happens? Who takes care of all the kids in the animal kingdom? Same thing that happens in our world. The women do it. The men go off and do what they're going to do. It's how we're programmed as mammals. That is how we're programmed. I'm not saying it's right. The difference is being human beings and being woke and a wise and having intellect. We look at it a little bit different. But if you look at our nature, we're not that far from regular animals in how they interact with their children and stuff. The men make the babies, right, with the women. And then the women raise them all to themselves. It's just how we are programmed to keep the species going. That's part of it. That's not all of it.
My dear brother Charles, how are you doing this fine evening? You say young girls shouldn't look like raw oysters so soon. I'm just let that comment just go. I'm gonna let it go. Steve, you say I'm 54 and knocking my wife's wig off. Don't need a blue pill. She can say I can get some sleep. Well, you go ahead, brother. You remain strong.
Yes, brother. Yeah, keep representing.
A lady says wanting a legacy is mostly selfish. And being forever, you say, I choose not
No,
to see.
wait, real quick. How is wanting a legacy selfish? Everybody, if you don't have a legacy, then how does the family continue to move on? How is that selfish? To me, that's common sense. Everybody wants a legacy to continue the family name or the family dynamic, right?
We shall see. Brother Sammy says at a certain point, we don't want more children. However, they're righteous. That the blessing is in the seed. If you understand how to give birth to a God, it would be a blessing to the world. The critical point is that if the woman is mature or not. Moreover, if the wrong decision is made in choosing, it may be for naught. Absolutely. So, yeah, you got to make sure you make the right decision. I would say, regardless of how old she is, just don't make sure she's not too young. You know what I mean? Sam, I am. He says the youngest women I'll date. The youngest woman I'll date and marry is 27 to 34. And how old are you, if you don't mind me asking? And Trina, he says, all I hear are excuses. Now, no way a man should marry a woman and leave because he wants children. That's a whole discussion before marriage. I totally agree. That's something you should be, have discussed before you even jump over the broom.
Absolutely. But okay, let's just dial it back a quick second. How many women, and fellas, let me know if you guys agree with this. Ladies are not going to agree, but how many women leave marriages just because they just they just don't feel good about it anymore, or they want to go express themselves and do other things. They're not leaving because, and I'm just saying in general, a good example would be like a Tia Mowry, right? She goes out there, whatever, and I don't know her situation. I don't really care, but she never really went into, it's none of my business, why she got out. Was the man abusive, whatever. But you got a lot of women that leave marriages for basically no reason at all. They just get tired. They're just like, I'm done. I'm just going to do my own thing.
I mean, I guess. Lady Blue, says legacy can be impacting the world through services. It doesn't always have to be children. Have your name on a building, street, a scholarship, impact lives through philanthropy and more. And let me see this here.
Yes, but men do not think like that. Again, ladies, men do not think like that. Men's main legacy is our children.
I would say that I think it's important for a man and a woman, to have their legacy continue. That's how your legacy continues, is through your seed, right? If you don't procreate, then the legacy per se dies off, right? It's through generations. And so I think that's extremely important. Now, you can leave legacies other places, but what is the best legacy? A building or children? And Dwayne says, my grandmother would watch Matlock. I'm wondering what was going on around there when we would be gone, Demetra. Let me tell you something. They stay out your grandmama business, okay? When you heard Matlock come on, that meant it's none of your business what's going on behind this door. You smell a little Ben Gay coming up out of here? I'm just rubbing my knees, okay?
Right, and Matlock would come on about 10 o'clock at night?
I guess.
Yeah, around there, 9. It wasn't in prime time. I know that. It was a little bit after prime time.
It's still a little bit too late for grandma to be up. 10 o'clock is kind of late. But for that one night of the week, she's like, let me make my coffee just a little bit strong. I got to stay up about 2 more minutes longer than I normally would stay. The corrupt Arthur, how you doing? He says, yet y'all let these clowns, divestors, leave and stay gone. I don't identify with the divestors at all. They don't speak for me or any of that stuff. I really believe that's a lost group of sisters for whatever reason. I think that they can throw away a whole bunch of black men due to something they heard or maybe something that they've experienced. I don't know. They don't speak for me at all. In fact, I don't even follow them or none of that. I don't inculcate any of their messaging at all. And a lady says, if you aren't contributing to society, for example, in prison, your lane needs to stop.
Your lineage needs to stop. I see what she's saying. I see what she's saying.
Okay. Honeydew says, for real, I miss an old school Southern man. And Don, you say,
wait, Dimitri, you're in the South. Wait a minute. Aren't there a lot of Southern men running around there?
There are. Yes, there are. There's a lot of them. I speak, hey, how you doing? They speak, hey, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? They recognize sunshine when they see it. Yes. Oh, uh, you know what I'm saying? And Brother Nine says, it's not selfish to create a legacy, obedience. The Most High instructed us to be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and subdue it. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do, right? However, I think the Most High wants you to sprinkle your seed responsibly, right? Not just share. That was vulgar. I shouldn't have did that. But yeah, he wants you to be responsible. Al, you crazy. I can already see your comment. It says you don't eat pork, but you will eat booty. So doodoo is safer than bacon. Oh, Lord. We done opened, no pun intended, okay, Pandora's box. And I don't know, Pandora's box don't sound like it's that good. I never switch to water. Hold on. I'm trying to, people eat what they want to eat, I guess. I think, shut up, D. Your daddy watching. Shut up. Shut up. Trina. You say, Donovan, it seems like men are upset. They have to be decent people and productive partners in the marriage. Time out for lazy, effortless relationships.
Well, let me just say this, ladies. Men control relationships or access to relationships. Women have access to sex. Women control that. If a man is asking a woman to meet him in matrimony and marriage, I would hope he has his stuff together to know what his role is in doing that, or why go into the aspect of it. But then again, you've got some ladies that accept proposals when they know that guy is probably not a good provider or in the traditional sense of what a man needs to be. So, we got to do a good vetting process for both sides. You know what I mean? Like I said, when I'm out here dating and looking for women, I'm asking questions and I'm saying, hey, this is what I want. This is my program. This is what I would like. And if she isn't on that program, Demetria will tell you, I cut her off quick. It's not going to work. It's just done. Right. So, I believe women have another responsibility as well. You can't come in saying, oh, yeah, like Peg Bundy. Oh, I love to cook. Oh, I love to clean. And then you get in there and you don't do any of that stuff or whatever your situation is. So vetting needs to be done on both sides. And I'm going to tell you, to me, one of the biggest mistakes women make when it comes to relationships is they don't bring that man around their family, their fathers, their uncles, or whatever, because those men can tell you if that man is about anything.
Yeah, there definitely needs to be a vetting process on both sides. And Michael says, Demetria, have you embraced the Texas way of living? I'm gonna say
better not. We'll take your West Coast card. You better not.
Never. Listen. Yeah, embrace the Texas way of living. I've been here 3 years now. Yeah, 3 years. And it's starting to grow on me. And now, of course, being from Southern California my whole life, you know what I mean? It is a different place. I mean, it just, it's a little bit slower. Admittedly, I don't go out much. As I would have if I was in California. When I was in California, shoot, I was everywhere. I go by myself. I just was, I was out there, not out there like that, but I was doing stuff. But here I'm kind of like every once in a while, whatever. But embracing it, I would say I am embracing the cheaper cost of living out here. Now that is, I like that very much. Not embracing the weather as much, although it has cooled down. The people are lovely here. I haven't met too many people who are like, nothing like that. So as far as embracing the Texas way of living, I guess so. I'm starting to. It's a mindset. You have to change your mindset, So, all right, let's see here. Darshawn says, real bronze women, real bronze men. What are you talking about? I'm confused. And Al says, since we're all grown, did any of you sneak out the window? Nope. I know people who did, though.
Demetra snuck out the window and got her sister in trouble. Shame on you, Demetra. Got my queen in trouble.
No, I know plenty of people who snuck out the window and wanted me to sneak out there with them. I was like, my mom and daddy crazy. Plus, they're still awake. But my sister, on the other hand, she'd be like, I'm out of here. I'm like, you better not go. I was a square. You're going to get in trouble. You know, mom and dad are going to be mad. She's like, so what? They're always mad. I'm always in trouble. I'll deal with it when I get back. And she'd hop out the window and come back hours later. My other friends, they was window hoppers too. And I was one of those people who's like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. You know, just come by and get me. Then I'd hear this on the window. I'm like, are you crazy? My mom and dad are still up. I ain't going. No, I didn't hop out of windows. I was always scary. So, you know, thank God, right? And Ashana says, legacy, huh? My dad told me, mommy, baby, daddy's maybe. What say you, Donovan?
Again, you got to know who you're dealing with. Not all men have that mindset. Like, okay, I'll give you a better example. We have a group of people known as the baby boomers, right? Why are they called baby boomers? Because all of those men, young men, went overseas to fight and realized they didn't have a legacy that they were left behind. So a lot of them that could have gotten killed, they didn't have by. So what did they do? They come back home, banging it, right? Making sure they left the legacy behind. And Demetra's daughter, she's a baby boomer type, military baby type situation, because, you know, he went to Desert Storm and stuff. That's one of the things that we do. But not all guys like run away from the responsibilities like that. Again, ladies, if you're dealing with a man that does that, didn't you kind of question if that his character beforehand, before you gave him the good stuff or whatever? Because I'm not saying it doesn't happen. That's why I tell ladies, bring these men around your family, and your family will vet them for you if you can't see what they see. Because if this guy's irresponsible like that, hey, I mean, it takes two to tango, right?
Not in my case. My daughter was a divine conception from aliens up above.
Yeah, okay.
She was. Al says, Donovan, I once met a woman who only dated men whose mother were not alive. And the ideology behind that is because, in her opinion, most men were mama's boys, and that she didn't want to have to deal with their mama, because their mama was, baby, why you got to be, and you know, that's my son, and all that other stuff. You know, it's like that. In her case, I would imagine those men, they had a mama who was the main thing, and a girlfriend who was the other thing. You know, like you might as well be dating your mama. Honeydew says, do you want to speak to that? No. Honeydew says, no, I never snuck out the window. I was scared to disappoint my parents. Yeah, see me, I was scared. I was always scary. Brother Don says, Demetra, you probably don't know what I hold on the West Side symbol trademark. For real? That is interesting.
Charge her. She just used it. Charge her again.
I used it twice. How much I owe you? Because I'm gonna keep using it. In fact, I want to get a shirt, you know, with two of them on there, if that's all right with you. Well, the Crump Arthur, he says, Demetra too thick to climb out a window. She had me sneaking in. I don't even know how to respond to that. I don't know if I was too thick to sneak out the window. I was too scary to sneak out a window, because I didn't like whoopings. I didn't like punishments or any of that kind of stuff. I just was not hopping out nobody's window. Even though I said I was going to do it, I never did.
But she waits till she gets to high school, then she's leaving campus to go see her boyfriend at the other school.
I did do that. Now I did do that. I would sneak off campus Yeah, I made sure I wasn't missing nothing detrimental at school. And I would go visit him, me and my homegirls, Michi and Angie. We would go to Ramona and we walk around the campus until we got kicked off. And then we would go back to our school, which was kind of silly, right? Ditching school to go to school. Yeah, but my high school sweetheart went to a different school. So I had to see him, you know. What can I do? It's been hours since I've seen him. Al says, Dimitri, didn't you know some very close who snuck out the window, who snuck in the window? Did I know somebody who snuck in the window? I don't know. Do I know? Oh, I tell you.
Al, wasn't there an episode of Sanford and Son where Esther, somebody thought Lamont was his child, and he snuck in the window of Esther? She was like, "Fool, that's my window."
Your average logical thinker says, I was with my guy for 2 years and he treated me like a queen. When I got pregnant, he disappeared. You know, I'm sorry that happened to you. Unfortunately, it's not a rare story. It's a story that is horrible, that I would imagine. I got a funny window story for y'all. Y'all want to hear it? Here it go. So one day, me and my high school sweetheart, my brother, and because we all worked at McDonald's in high school, right? So this particular day, before work, we went early in the morning to the beach. It was about 20 of us, right? We went to the beach. And of course, we didn't come back in enough time to really, for everybody to go home and get showered and then go to work, right? So my boyfriend at the time, RIP to him, he had his work clothes and stuff in his car. So my parents weren't home. And so it was me and my brother and my boyfriend at the time, his name was Ivan. So it was me, Walter, and Ivan there. And I had taken my shower. Walter took his shower and left. He took his shower and left. Okay. So it was me and my boyfriend, Ivan, at the house. So about 5 minutes later, or whatever, my boyfriend at the time was in the shower. Walter, he calls from a payphone. I saw Dad, my stepdad. He's on his way home. He's on his way home. And I was like, ah! Now, mind you, I'm 16, right? I wasn't doing nothing with him. It's just, y'all know how back in the days your mom and them said, don't have nobody in the house when I ain't home. Now, the last thing I needed was to get caught with my boyfriend in the house taking a shower, because the next assumption is, what was y'all doing? So when I tell you I banged on that damn door, I was like, get out! My dad is coming. He's on his way home. And I tell you, this Negro got out the shower. He was soaking wet, had his clothes in his hand, and then he ran to his car because his car was in the driveway. And he got out, and then when I tell you, in the nick of time, I just saw my whole 16 years of life flash before my eyes like, oh my God, this is not going to be good. But by the grace of God, that did not happen. But yeah, he did actually have to hop out of the window to get to his car with all of his clothes damn near stark naked. But I'd rather him do that than me get beat to death right along with him. So that I got PTSD.
And you were on the third floor, right?
No, we had a one-story house. I don't care if we was on the third floor, and you hopping out this damn window, okay? I'll string some sheets or something down for you, but I had some horrible flashbacks just even thinking about it. Dwayne says, my mom was mad as hell. She said everything in the book when I got back. So when you jumped out the window and got back. And Sam I Am says, LA, stand up. You say Windsor Hills View Park area. Okay. Now, the crap, Arthur, why are you putting the comments in the top about putting your comments on blast, talking about you hopped out of my window? Who are you really? Because I don't remember too many of the. Listen, I only remember one man hopping out my window, and that's the one I just told y'all about. And he was 16 and almost got both of us killed. Trina says, always entertains me that society blames women for not vetting, but not men for being predators. By the way, not my life. I am a true daddy's girl and didn't have the experience. The shenanigans.
Well, I got a question. Why are you using the vernacular of predators? If you're viewing men as predators, that says a lot in regards to how you brought into the propaganda that isn't really true, or you just don't like men.
I mean, she makes a good point, though. It's like we do tell women, oh, you didn't vet. But as I always say, too, why not just teach men and boys to be better choices? If you get with a woman, or whatever the case is, do right by her. You be something that she's proud that she vetted. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. No, I agree with you wholeheartedly. But as a failsafe, bring that young man around your family. If you don't know how to vet or you don't want to, but what's the first thing women say? Get out of my business. And then when you get caught up, then you want to be mad at the world.
So you say women say get out of my business when it's due to another guy or dating
Well,
a guy?
the thing is, when you say, well, who you dating? Why don't you bring him by the house? I want anybody in my business. I want anybody, you guys are jumping out the window, going to the back of town to the whatever guys you're dating Pookie or Ray Ray. You don't want nobody to know. And then when you get caught up, then you want to get mad at the world.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but I think we should also put expectations on our daughters and our sons. Hey, don't, if you getting too serious with somebody, bring them by for dinner. We love to talk to them. We love to meet them, but then, yeah, but don't be those type of parents. Bring them by here so I can size them up, and I'm gonna make sure I polish my best pistol and lay it on the table. But when you can have that innuendo in your voice, but you need to have a welcoming environment so that your children will say, okay, I want you to meet my parents. They would love to meet you. We're just gonna have dinner and a conversation or whatever. That way they'll do that. And teach your children, if they are with somebody they don't feel like they can bring home for dinner, then should they be with them?
Thank you. Exactly. If a dude doesn't want to meet your parents, you might want to separate yourself from that dude, because I remember when I was dating and I didn't have to do it. I could do what I want. I'm a teenager. I'm a man. I got to do it. But out of respect for that man's daughter and respect for him, I went and dealt with the dude and heard what he had to say. The father heard what he had to say, whatever, and I respected it. That's what we got to start doing. I mean, I understand men should be held accountable. You're absolutely right. We should be held accountable. You damn right we should be held accountable. But don't get mad when you don't bring us around your family or that dude around the family, and then you get caught up. That's one of the things you women should be demanding that he does.
No, I mean, I totally agree. You should, and sons too. Bring the young lady that you like or whoever around the family, have a conversation. I know some of y'all got some hater mamas. I know y'all do, but your hater mamas will be able to say, I don't know about her, honey. First of all, she came in my house with that short skirt. She ain't got no respect for me, are you?
Well, you know how your mom and dad did me. You can't have this one. You can have this one. She ain't fresh, but you can have this one.
Said you can't have her either. My dad was something else, boy. When he met my high school boyfriend, for the first time, we had went to his shop, right? And we had been dating for some time or whatever before he actually met my dad. So, and I was always kind of afraid to have him meet my dad. Now, my boyfriend in high school was Muslim as well. His whole family was Muslim. My dad being Muslim. So I took him to meet my dad, and we went to the shop, and we were kind of playing around, my boyfriend and I at the time, and he kind of like touched me, and Walter was like, "Yeah, you better tell Ivan not to be touching you. Daddy is having a fit. I don't want him putting his hands on my baby." It was nothing, he just kind of like, playing around, and he was having a fit. I was like, okay, we high five. we can dap it up. I don't even know if we can do that, but yeah, my daddy, he's something serious when it comes to his daughters. Shonda says, Donovan, a lot of families are not vetting quality. 3 generations of baby mamas cannot properly vet good husband material. I
agree, but in those 3 generations of baby mamas, they've got brothers, they've got great uncles and all this other stuff. You mean to tell me that whole family is just whack? That whole family is just destroyed? There's got to be somebody in there, and there's always somebody in a family that is doing well or has some common sense that you kind of look up to. You could always go to that person. You could always there's somebody in a family that you might have respect for and says, hey, look, and they love you just as much to see you do well and want you to be in a happy relationship. So yeah, I agree with you. Maybe the mothers can't do it, but what about the uncles? What about the aunts?
I agree with that. And that's why we as women especially Black women, need to start teaching again. We need to start teaching the principles that were taught to us. We have to start teaching these young girls about everything it takes to be a woman, how to be appropriate, how to speak appropriately, like all of that, right? As I always tell y'all, my daughter, she's 30, and I often, probably 99% of the time, have people say, "You got any grandchildren? How many grandchildren you have?" And I say, "Well, I don't have any grandchildren, but I would love for y'all to ask me about a son-in-law before you ask me about grandchildren." And that's how we can reprogram ourselves, because that's the first thing that should come out. How old is she married yet? You got a son-in-law? Yeah, no, whatever the case is, but never should we be putting a grandchild before a son-in-law. And my daughter knows, listen, don't be having no children until you have a husband. I've taught her that because I didn't do it that way. And it wasn't say it was impossible to raise her. And I also raised three of my other nephews and a niece. It wasn't impossible. It wasn't hard, but it'd have been easier if I would have had her father in the house. So I've always taught her, get married and y'all have a child. That way, because see, a lot of times too in our community, I might get myself in trouble, but it's just the truth. Sometimes we make the grandmama the baby daddy. Now, what I mean by that is because the daughter, or even we make her the baby mama too. The daughter or the son go off and have children, and they're not with the other person. And so then they bring the child home to mama, and the mama ends up being a baby mama and a baby daddy, helping you raise the child because for whatever reason you did not settle down to a good choice, and that other person is not around. And so the grandmama, or even the grandfather, because there's a lot of grandfathers out there too that's helping to raise the grandchildren, they have to halt their life to do more for the grandchild than they would ordinarily have to. So my daughter already knows, like, listen, I raised you and your niece and nephew, or your cousins rather. And the last thing I'm trying to be doing is being saddled down at the house with grandbabies, talking about, oh, I'm watching my grandbabies while y'all go off and kick your heels up some more. You go to work and I want to be a grandmama, a grandee. That's what they're going to call me, grandee, for recreation and not obligation. I want to take the children to Disneyland, the park, or what, travel. I want to do that stuff. And then when we're done, I want to say, hey, come get your Rugrats. Grandy's tired. Y'all come on and get them. And I don't want to be the one that, they're totally dependent on to take care of them. So anyway, Kiki says that's not always the case, though, Donovan. There are families all the time who are shocked when they find out a guy is an abuser or something, or God forbids he unalives a woman. There are some people, both men and women, who truly are great pretenders. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Gotta, I don't know. You're right. Dwayne says, facts, Donovan, let the family peep the dude out. It will save both their future. Yeah, the corrupt Arthur, you crazy. I'm looking at your comments. I see your comments, but you talk about you done hopped out my window and stuff. You say something that, that I can really talk to you. You ain't never hopped out my window. At least I don't think you did. You didn't hop in the window either, but say something I could talk about. Charlie says, yes, they are all whack. The uncles are just as bad. He also say, my uncle told me as a teen, it's a man. He says, imagine me bringing my hubby before him for approval. Okay. And then Lady Blue, he says, many people are good as misrepresenting themselves. You really don't know even after vetting. That's true. And Brother Don says, Demetrius' dad could have pulled a Levon on you. What he says, Levon, he says, what he did to Yaakov. I don't know, y'all. And Al says, my grandpa told my mom, get you a man that can pay the bills and pay attention to you. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. And you can bring home the bacon. Y'all remember that fried up in the pan? That's oh, that's an old commercial. But yeah, I like that advice. And thank you, Dwayne. I try to give the best advice that I can. I'm speaking from experience to some degree. Your average logical thinker says, I never wanted to burden my mom with a kid, so I waited until I was over 35 to have one. Yeah, I had my daughter when I was 21. I was not ready to do that, but you get ready. And as I always tell people too, I only have one child because, RIP, God bless my mama. My mama didn't raise my daughter. She didn't say, "Oh, that's my granddaughter. Bring her here to me. You go on and do what you got to do. That's my grandbaby." She loved the grandchildren, but my mom was like, "Listen, I got things to do and people to see, and I can't do it with a car seat in my Mercedes Benz."
Yep. Like I said, I'm 53 years old. I don't have any grandkids, and I have two boys. So statistically, from the rumors out there and the stuff that isn't true, all these young black men are out here just making babies and not being responsible. No, I made sure my sons were responsible young men. And I said, look, if you have this is your responsibility. You're going to handle it. It's as simple as that. They don't got any kids. These are educated young men. They're living their lives, having the time of their life, doing what they want to do. Hey, it is what it is.
All right, now we could talk. Corrupt Arthur, you says, I have never met you in person, but I hop in your window in my dreams all the time, Ms. D. And what do you see? I'm gonna see if you really hop in my window in your
Halloween's
dreams.
coming up. Be careful.
You know what? Any man look in my window at night be like, word? For real? It's getting cold now, so I gotta actually put on a little bit more clothing. Oh, about to get in trouble here. All right, so I see Donovan rolling his eyeballs up. He must be looking at the game. So we about to get out of here in just a minute. Honeydew says, we going through it now with my niece, my brother's daughter. I wish he had chosen better, but it's also up to him to make it right. So you're saying with his, I guess, baby mom, is that who you're speaking of? Oh, got you. Rachel and Leah, got you. Y'all better educate me. I know some of the Bible. I don't know all the Bible, though.
I always tell these young men, if you get with these women, I'm going to tell you guys, especially you ladies, if you have sons, I'm going to give you the best advice I can give you. And any man will tell you, absolutely. If you have sons and they're about 14 years old, take them down to the family court for one day, because that's what I did with my sons. And I showed them what the system will do to them according to Demetria, 2 minutes of pleasure. And how the system has unlimited resources against them in regards to what's going on. And, and I was talking to my youngest son, and he said that scared the crap out of him in regards to his decisions with, dating women and things like that. Because for a whole day, he just saw case after case of these dudes not showing up, no attorneys. They were just out there, just being devastated. And in California, what's the minimum wage or the minimum you can pay in child support? It's like $600 and something or something now.
No, it's depending. Oh, I don't know about now, but I know back in the day, it was depending on what you made.
Yeah, it's what you made. But now there's a minimum. It's like, I know for a while it was like $530 was the minimum, job or no job. So again, just have him go take that young man down there, and I guarantee you he'll make better choices because of what he sees.
Honeydew says, how old are your boys again, Donovan?
One will be 31 in January. One just turned 26 in September.
Hello, Floyd says his problem, like so many of our people, suffering self-hate. So you're talking about T.O. Okay. And your average logical thinker says Donovan is horrible out here. And the stats show it. Yeah.
It is. Sister, get your passport. No, I'm joking. I'm just saying.
Stupid. Suki B, how you doing? He says, I'm late, but I'm here. Good evening, Demetria, Donovan, Maz, and chat. And good evening to you as well. Let's see here. Yes, Brother Don, thank you for reminding those to hit the likes. Boy, I tell you, you crazy. He says, 2 minutes of pleasure. Maybe we have met before. Now that's funny. That is funny. Yeah. Okay. I close the blinds at night. I only leave them up just a little bit if the moon is out. I like when the moon shines into my room. It's so hypnotic, if you will. But the weather is changing, so y'all might have to come back, in the summertime. A lady says, Donovan, you look good to have old sons. Wait a minute. He look good to be old. I'm not clowning you. I'm just.
Yeah, we got a lot of haters in the house. Haters. No, thank you very much. I do my best. Trust me. It's a daily battle.
Yeah, you do all right for a 72-year-old man. You're doing all right. But y'all know what though? Y'all notice how Donovan and his homeboys always say, y'all gonna get a dog and die. Get a dog and die. Y'all notice Donovan got 11 cats and a dog. And
well,
no
that's
dog.
because I like pee.
You like what?
I like PC. Get it?
That's the wrong cat. Okay. We talking about some other cat. We ain't talking about those cats, okay? The cat man of Moreno Valley. Okay, so let's see. Your average logical thinker says, definitely have my passport. Just got back from Jamaica last night, but they all want green cards. Let me ask you this. While you was over there, did you see the Jamaican brothers giving those massages out that they're getting? Man, I saw some of those massages. I'm like, now what part of Jamaica is that in? I mean, because some of those massages, like, what are we doing? You're washing in places you ain't supposed to be washing. And the sisters, and the other thing too is like some of those massages is like, come on now. And why are y'all filming that? I'm just curious, but yeah, your average logical thinker, if you happen to have seen any of those, hit my email. I like to go do some investigative journalism down there. I got to see exactly what's going on. Oh, hello, Michael M. How are you doing today? A lady says, dog, cats, and birds are great. I don't want none of them. No shade to animals or animal lovers. I just can't. I can't do it. Donovan? Oh, I thought you were going to, damn me to hell for speaking out about animals or something. The corrupt author, you crazy. Lady says, those Jamaican massagers like their lives, man, they are the massager like their lives depended on. It's like, woo, what kind of soap is that? I need to go check it out. I might want to go buy some of it. So, a lady, if you remember you seen any of that, please let me know, okay? I will find a way to expense that and write it off on my taxes to go see what they're doing with these massages, if it's worth it. So anyway, y'all, we're going to get out of here. We've been silly. And your average logical thing, it says, Dimitri, you got to book them privately during their excursion. They stress knee down only.
Oh, the rent-a-dread phenomenon. Y'all renting dreads. I get it.
They might stress the knee down. However, the footage that's been coming out says differently. I mean, they in the knees, they in the thighs, they, and in places they really shouldn't. Places I don't know if I feel comfortable with, but I'd have to go and see for myself and see if it's a comfortable experience or an uncomfortable experience. Like, I don't want to knock it until I try it. You know what I'm saying? I always try to take the green eggs and ham approach to life. How would you like it? I don't want it, Sam. I am.
You have to come from a place of experience.
Right. Sam, I am. He didn't know he liked green eggs and ham until he tried it. He was like, not with a box and a fox with nobody. You know what I'm saying? And when he said, oh, I do like it. So I try to take that approach with things in life. Not everything, though. Anyway, I'm just playing with y'all. If y'all see me in Jamaica, I'm not there for that. But anyway, your average logical thinker says they use limestone, supposed to be good for your skin. I bought some back. Mm-hmm. A lady says, yes, we need to send you for a Jamaican massage for research purposes. Yes, and I will take all the notes. I will make sure that I don't miss anything. I will give y'all a blow by blow. Not for real, but
Well, I mean, yeah, I think that is a good idea because it's only going to be a 2-minute massage.
You know what I'm saying? But it looked like it's worth it. We'll see. Yeah, y'all hit the Cash App, send me. I'll go over there and I come right back. Right back. Honeydew says, make sure y'all hit the like button, please, and thank you. So anyway, we're going to get out of here. The average logical thing says, we went to the wrong place. Apparently, my girlfriend was highly disappointed. They did the for real massage like, do. Okay, thank you. It was nice serving you. Y'all wanted to. Me too. Anyway, we're going to get out of here. Love and appreciate every last one of y'all. We will see y'all on Tuesday when we do our podcast, and then we'll do our live show. And of course, we'll be back here with Walter or whatever. So anyway, you guys be safe out there. Donovan, you want to say something before you leave?
Yes, it's getting crazy out there. Let me tell you guys something. I keep stressing it, especially you strong, independent Black women. You guys, these people are preparing for something, okay? If Trump does not win, something is going to be going down and you're going to need to defend yourself, defend your home or whatever. So I'm going to tell you guys, if you guys do not wait till the last minute and hope that Ray or your cousin Johnny's going to come and save you because he's got to deal with his own family. Do something to defend yourself. In Florida, a man went there specifically to kill Black people. So, I mean, let's be proactive rather than reactive.
Absolutely. And on that note, y'all brothers, get y'all a nice Black woman, stick with her, y'all build something. And that way we'll have a little less Black women out there unprotected. Please and thank you. So anyway, until then, we'll see y'all later. Peace.